Hello everybody, you got Specs here, and today we're gonna be starting some uh commentary analysis video, I guess. Basically, every week of the UPDL season 2 we got 12 players, so 6 battles per week, and I thought I'd just kind of go over each battle in each week, and then just kind of say like what players did right, what players did wrong, how things could have gone differently. And also just to look at some hype battles. There are some. And yeah, I'm not trying to make fun of anyone before I get started. It's like this is meant to just like help people improve and get better at the game. Of course, this probably might not be the most informative thing. At the end of the day, if you want to get better at Pokemon, you just kind of have to play and just play on the ladder, get a lot of experience. That's the best way to improve, in my opinion. But of course, looking at your own replays and studying them is also pretty important in learning as well. And so, hopefully, me looking through them might transfer some knowledge, even though I'm not the best player. So, let's get started. This one, first off, is going to be the Italian Torterras versus the, I think Toledo Treeckos, right? Yeah, so Bossman versus Arum, and yeah, so looking at the matchup here, we see a lot of water. That is Shifu Rabbit Strike, by the way. So you see a lot of water types on Bossman's side, which means that Tangrowth is going to be pretty important throughout the course of the game. If it's Rocky Helmet, obviously he's going to deal with the Shifu very well, but if it's a Salt Vest, it might be able to tank a couple hits from Blastoise as well. Yeah. Specs Dragapult looks really good here as well. Umbreon is an issue, but U-turn from Specs Dragapult into something like your Shifu can keep up quite a bit of offensive momentum. The U-turn spam here can really make Arum there's basically, at the end of the day, Bossman has all the offensive cards in this game. I think Arum has to play extremely well in order to win this matchup, because U-turn spam from Paul to Ann or Shifu means that Ben has infinite momentum going into this game, and so like Arum's gonna have to make some smart plays in order to disrupt that offensive pressure. Yeah. Bishop also looks pretty good here too, depending on if you can get a Swords Dance up or not, and depending on if that Skarmory's like Iron Defense Body Press. Actually, yeah, Blastoise can be kind of insane here as well. If that's not Assault Vest Tangrowth, the only like check to Blastoise is going to be Umbreon, and Umbreon can be pretty easy to wear down during the course of a game. So yeah, especially with Spike support from Clefty. So let's just get into it. If I had to guess here, well, I think I did watch this replay, so I do remember a little bit of it. But looking at it from a fresh, clean slate, Pulse or Shifu is most likely lead from Ben. Just because he can get the offensive pressure with U-turn if he gets a bad matchup. Whereas Arum, I think the best thing that covers both of them would probably be Weezing. So, let's see what happens. Yep. So first off, we see Dragapult on Tangrowth. Interesting. So you don't know what this Tangrowth set is. It could be either Rocky Helmet or Assault Vest. That's kind of the main two sets. Either way, I think U-turn is the best play from Dragapult. If you go for the Specs Fire move and it's Rocky Helmet, yeah, sure, you get the kill. But if it's Assault Vest, basically you're just going to do like 50, 60%, and then Knockout's going to come out and then you lose your Choice Specs, which can be pretty bad. So yeah, I would U-turn here. And Tangrowth, if you are AV, I would just go for Knock immediately as well. Just remove, not even under the assumption that Dragapult's staying in, just under the assumption that you can just get an item off immediately. And if you are Rocky Helmet, unfortunately, Umbreon is just a very safe switch in here if you are Rocky Helmet. So yeah, we're gonna see the Specs Flamethrower come out though. Not the greatest play here. Again, I think U-turn was better because now you lose your Choice Specs. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. So we see the knockoff, the Curse Body disabled on the Tangrowth. So now I can't click knockoff. Flamethrower doesn't kill though. I'm not sure if Draco does. I would have to calc that. If it does kill, potentially Dragon Ball Draco would be pretty good here, and then you could switch to Weezing, which I think is what happens. Yeah, so he does go into Weezing on the Draco Meteor. Very smart play. Here I just go for a Strange Steam or Will-O-Wisp. Sludge Bomb comes out though. That wasn't necessarily a good idea. A Bisharp or Klefki could have 100% switched in here. Pex also switch in was pretty common too. So which is why I think Wisp, if you had a Will-O-Wisp, it would have covered all of those the best. If you don't have Will-O-Wisp, I don't know why, frankly. Will-O-Wisp does pretty well against this matchup. You have their Chief Rabbit Strike, you have the Bisharp, all of those you want to burn. Yeah, anyway, I would have swapped out there, but he instead stays in for a Flamethrower. Loses his Black Sludge as a result. Yeah, yeah, Weezing has a losing map against Pex. I wouldn't have stayed in there myself, personally. But to be fair, now I'm looking at it, Arm has a very, very hard time against Toxapex, so that's gonna be an issue. Another reason to have brought Wisp in, honestly. Yeah. There really isn't a lot you can do here, frankly. Because against Pex, it's actually really bad. If it's like Knock Off, Scald, Recover, that's already really, really bad for you to deal with. Just because nothing can kill this Pex. So, yeah. The best thing you could do, if you have Heal Bell on Umbreon, then Toxic doesn't matter as much if the Pex has Toxic. So you could try to go to Quagsire, try to burn it. I don't know, but you're probably going to get burned yourself first, frankly. Yeah, this is a really rough matchup for Arm. Really doesn't have anything he can do against his Pex. It's a Toxic, just to add insult to injury on the switch. Skarmory is going to come out here. Knockoff, knocks out the helmet most likely, yep. Yeah. So I'm assuming Skarmory's just going to go for Spikes. Palt comes in here on the said Spikes, though. I guess Flamethrower from Palt. I'm not sure if that would have killed Skarmory, frankly. It depends on the set, probably, I guess. But to be fair, I don't think the Skarmory can do anything to the Dragon Ball, so switching to Weezing was an okay play. He goes for Shadow Ball, interesting, and gets a critical hit Spit F drop. Yeah. So, I don't think... Wait, did I say Weezing was a good play? I need to correct myself. Umbreon was the better play. Just because, you know, Umbreon takes everything from Dragon Ball very, very easily and can wish up and pass. Pass wishes too. So, yeah, going to Weezing there was not the best idea. Then he goes to Quagsire. Again, I don't know why. Shadow Ball is like, yeah, no. I think RM 100% should have been using Umbreon a lot more in this game. Palt obviously just will eat everything besides, you know, Quagsire. So, anyway, Draco's gonna come out here, kill the Quagsire. Yeah, I mean, seriously, you have a full health Umbreon. Even if it's not specially defensive, Dragon Ball will not be able to one-shot that thing, especially since its Specs is gone. So, yeah, Umbreon should have been out like 3 turns ago. So Umbreon comes out now. It's a bit late for that, unfortunately, because Dragon Ball's just going to U-turn. Pex comes in here on the most likely Wish. Yep, and he might Wish Pass into the Weezing. No, he just decides to stay in, go for the foul play. Instead of the Toxic, which is really good for a Ben. I think that's Inner Focus Umbreon, right? Because Synchronize would have procced, right? I'm not sure. Should have been Synchronized Umbreon if it wasn't. Wish comes out again as the knockout comes out. Removes the leftovers, which is pretty big. Yeah, again, Pex, there's really nothing that Arm can do against it, frankly. I would just be trying to, like... I don't know, frankly. It's really hard to deal with this Pex. Especially since he's spamming Scald so that the Umbreon Weezing can't come in. Except he goes for knockoff on that turn, so I guess it worked out. So yeah, Weezing's back up to a respectable amount of health. Goes into Skarmory here on the Scald. 23%. Does not burn. Tangrowth comes in as a swap. Yeah, I'm not looking good for Arm right now, frankly. There's a lot going against him right now. Actually going to come back in on the AV Tangrowth, going for knockoff. Pex's Sludge is removed, which is good. One step towards removing Pex from the field. Unfortunately, Earthquake is doing quite little amounts of damage, and the AV from Tangrowth is removed. Giga Drain doing some damage, but you know, Pex has Recover. Yeah, this is not looking great. I guess he's just trying to wear down Pex as much as he can, but this is not the way to do it. I would just go with, like, I mean, yeah, like, just Pex is just too hard of a matchup for this team, frankly. Because, like, Marowak can do a lot of damage to Pex, don't get me wrong. But how are you going to switch it in when it's spamming Scald and Knockoff? Both of which Marowak does not want to take hits from. Especially Knockoff, because if you lose Knockoff, that means Pex is just... it can't do anything. Gets a burn on the Skarmory, which is pretty bad. Yeah. This game is already kind of looking over, I'm not gonna lie. This Pex is just too good. Okay, Clefty's gonna come out here. The Skarmory goes for Iron Defense. Sure, why not? I don't even think a +6 burned Iron Defense Body Press would do anything to Pex, frankly, so yeah, this is kind of looking doomed. Ben just looks like he wants to get up all 3 layers of hazards, spikes, and then probably just switch out in Pex or something. Yeah, not looking great. Blastoise comes in here instead. Interesting. Does a decent amount of damage, but at this point, Aram has completely lost any way of checking Blastoise, because basically, well, we don't know what the Weezing is defensively. It could be Fizz Def or Sped Up. Well, you probably could tell based on like U-turn damage or whatever. So yeah, you probably could tell. So I don't know the rules though, so I'm not sure if it's physically defensive, special defensive. If it's physically defensive, this game is over right now, because let's take a look. So Umbreon is down to 46%, and it's toxic, and it has spikes, and there's spikes on the field. I'm pretty sure Water Pulse from Blastoise does like 30-ish% to Sped Def Umbreon, and so it's already within range of, if it switches in, it's going to be in range of Water Pulse. Tangrowth is going to be at like 40, so plus a third of health is going to be 48, but then the spikes come in again, and then it's going to be back down to like, what, 23, and so definitely dies to Ice Beam, especially with the AV gone. Marowak obviously dies. Skarmory is going to die to Ice Beam, as you're going to see here, and then the Weezing, if it's not physically defensive, if it's specially defensive, maybe it tanks one hit, and maybe then you're only out against this Blastoise win condition end would be Sludge Bomb Poison, and then Protect Stall with Umbreon and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this game is pretty much over if it's physically defensive. Tangrowth's going to come in here. Fish is going to die. Frankly, you should have gone to Weezing immediately, because that was your only chance of winning. Goes for the Rapid Spin here to get rid of the spikes, as goes for the Sludge Bomb. Unfortunately for him, does not get the poison, and Water Pulse does take it out, revealing probably not specially defensive. And yeah, at this point, this game is over. So, realistically speaking, I think RM just had a really bad matchup here. Ben had not only the offensive pressure to deal with RM, like, he held basically all the offensive cards, but also Pex was just too much to handle for RM. There's no real way he could wear it down. So yeah, that's not great. So that's just kind of unfortunate. We do get a glimpse at our first 6-0 though, so yeah, good job for Ben. Next up we got... Okay, so next up we got Zadash versus Wiggly. So we're gonna... What was their team name? Driftveil Delibirds versus the Virbank Venomous or something like that. Yeah, so it looks like we got very strong rain team versus a nice little grass terrain based team here on the other side. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Basically, rain teams are kind of pigeonholed to lead Pelipper, but not always. So if Pelipper leads, if that Wallow is faster and has Thunder Punch, that would be my first choice, because then I would just go for Play Rough and then smack them like a Swampert. So that would be my guess. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So Pele comes in on Glaceon. Oh wait, right. You know what? Correction. Yes, Glaceon was a good play as well. Forgot to mention that Zan has absolutely no switches to Freeze Dry. So yeah, Glaceon for sure is super good in this matchup. Basically 6-0s. Basically nothing can switch in. Except maybe Heliolisk one time. It depends on if it's Scarf or Specs, obviously. But like, if it's Specs, nothing can switch in really. Except maybe Heliolisk one potential time. I don't know. Probably not though. And then if it's Scarf, they'll kill Zapdos. Non-Mega Swampert, I guess. Heliolisk. probably two-shot Heliolisk, and then like Dracovish if it's not Scarf too, like it'll beat that. So yeah, looking pretty bad for Zan here. Free tries and okay, yeah. So sacks the Rain Setter turn 1. Definitely would not have done that myself. You can't lose your Rain Setter on a rain team. That's just you just can't do that. So you know, my best guess here, I would probably sack. Well, literally anything else. I think Swampert had a really good chance here, and Swampert and Zapdos are things you probably don't sack here, for sure. Bear looks pretty good as well once the Volcanion gets removed. Dracovish looks okay. Basically the same as Barraskewda. I think maybe one of the Barraskewda versus Dracovish, maybe. Heliolisk doesn't look too great here either, honestly, though. But it does absorb water moves from Volcanion, so there is that. And from Greninja, potentially. So, anyway, Swampert's going to come out here. Very interesting play. I don't think... I'm not sure if it would have killed Glaceon. It probably would have. I don't know. Glaceon has decent defense, though. I'm not sure. Rain Boost... I don't know. Anyway, he goes for the Unnegaed Earthquake for some reason. And then goes back to Glaceon here on the Earthquake. Gets a crit. And he refuses to Mega. And... Okay, so I did talk with Zadash after this. So he just thought that Swampert, the regular version, was Swift Swim and not the Mega version, but he got that backwards. So, yeah, Mega version has Swift Swim, the regular version does not, and so that's why he never Mega Evolved in the first place. It's not. It's not like that. So, frankly, yeah, it just... Mega Swampert had a really good matchup here. Obviously, you had to be scared of Rillaboom Grassy Glides, but that was the only thing. To be fair, Zadash is already down to sack. So in a sack war, I think Rillaboom would have won out, maybe. But, like, Tidou here has a static Zapdos, too. It's like, yeah, I don't know. That was just... You can't screw that up. Especially if this is your own team. You have to know what your own team has. Like, you can't just forget that Swampert doesn't have Swift Swim in the regular form. And does, like... Yeah, it's just... You know, I'm just not going to comment on it anymore. So Barraskewda is going to come in here. Volcanion is going to come in, and okay. Yeah, I don't think Aqua Jet was a nice... Like, Close Combat was very free there, frankly. If he had it, of course. And if he didn't have it, why not? Because Close Combat at least gives decent neutral damage to everything. So, yeah, that would be my play. And you're faster than the Glaceon for sure, because not only are you... I'm pretty sure you're just naturally faster than Scarf. If you're on the correct EVs, but also you're in rain. So, like... Yeah, I don't know. That was a dumb idea. And then he goes for the Aqua Jet again, for some reason, as the Volcanion goes for Sunny Day. Nice anti-rain tech. Zapdos comes out here on the Will-O-Wisp. Interesting. So it looks to be a defensive sort of a Volcanion set. Anyway, we're going to see the Zapdos come in on the Rillaboom. The Rillaboom come in on the Zapdos, and he goes for the Hurricane. Lands through the 50% accuracy due to Sun. And, yeah. Nice prediction. Was a coin flip of whether you landed it or not, though. He got it, so lucky him. Glaceon's going to come out here. Alis is going to come in as well. Ice Beam is going to do 61. And due to Dry Skin, plus this being a Scarf Glaceon, it's going to... Oh, he doesn't go for it. Interesting. So I guess maybe Wiggly thought that this Heliolisk could potentially happen in Scarf, so he didn't want to risk it, and just went to his Hitmontop. Hitmontop is going to get crit by Thunderbolt, but Mach Punch will be able to knock out the Heliolisk if it stays in, and that is exactly what happens. We're going to see the Zapdos come back in here. Goes for another Hurricane. 70% accuracy this time, but still lands, securing the second KO. Volcanion's going to come back in here. It goes for a Dry Thunder. Gets the paralysis, but it turns out it didn't matter because he lands the 50% Thunder again. So that, for those keeping track, that was one regular Hurricane, one regular Thunder, and one Sun Thunder and one Sun Hurricane. Lands every single one. Yeah, to say the least, that was a little bit lucky. But the Scarf Glaceon is going to come in and go for the Ice Beam. That was probably not the right play there. You probably should have just gone for Free Try. Obviously a lot more threatening towards the Barraskewda and the Dracovish. So, yeah, just in case Zadash wanted to switch, you know. So, yeah, that would have definitely killed anything that came in. So, pretty sure I was a better play there. Mawa's going to come in here, go. It's actually not Intimidate, it's Hypercutter or Sheer Force potentially. Yeah, probably wouldn't have run that myself. Intimidate's pretty good here as nice utility, just because you can intimidate the water types and whatnot. And Dracovish is going to come in here on the knockup. Again, no Mega for some reason. Wiggly, I think, does choose the Mega Ball this turn, though. Goes for Rocks. Interesting to have on the Mawile. To be fair, he didn't have Rocks on anything else in this game, so having Rocks on Mawile was his only choice, unless he wanted to bring her Lando T. I've been using the wrong pronouns this entire time, haven't I? I'm so sorry. That's my bad. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, so Mawile comes out and it goes for the Rocks. Again, as I said before, Rocks was the only option. Mawile's the only thing that could have run Rocks. And so he's going for the Sucker Punch as the Barraskewda goes for close combat. Not going to knock it out. And we're probably going to see another Sucker Punch to close out the Barraskewda's life. And now we got Dracovish versus the World. Sucker Punch is going to come out here. Fish's Rent is going to kill, though. At this point, unless this Dragovich is Scarf, which it is not, it looks like Wiggly takes it. So, yeah. I think if Zadash Mega evolved his Swampert during this game, it would have, I think this game would have been a lot closer, frankly. Just because, Swampert plus Zapdos is pretty tough for Wiggly to fight against. To be fair, yes, she has the, Scarf Freeze Dry, but it's still hard, right? Because especially, to be fair, Zan also lost his Rain Setter, so that's also an issue. Yeah, I don't know. I think the game would have been closer though if Zan remembered to Mega Evolve Swampert for sure. So yeah, maybe the game's outcome could have been different as well, depending on how smartly he played his Rain. So yeah. Anyway, next up we have the Georgia Jolteons versus the Denver Digletts. So Mooney versus Winston. So, okay, looks like we got a little electric terrain semi-team here with some fairies, and then this is a much more Denver Digletts has a much more balanced, bulky offense, I guess, would probably be the best way to describe it. Actually, no, that's not Mega Dynasty. Oh, yeah, it's just a balanced team, frankly, from Denver Digletts. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess before I get into it, Poco looks pretty threatening here. I don't know exactly how much Grass Knot does to Gastrodon, but it probably does a good amount. And then Thunderbolt rips through the rest of the team. So, yeah, Raichu by extension looks really good here as well, because of also Grass Knot plus Rising Voltage, which is going to be very scary. And, yeah, so let's get started. We're going to see the Drill lead against the Diancie. Good lead on Mooney's part. We're going to see Mandibus switch in as the Drill goes for Iron Head. Then goes for Rocks on the foul play. I think this was lead Drill, frankly, because we don't see an item, and it took 75%. Anyway, so Defox will come out on the Mandibus, which will get rid of the Electric Terrain as well as the Rocks. And then we're probably going to say swap into Gastrodon, which we do. Goes for the Volt Switch. Does not. Gastrodon obviously blocks it. Rocks comes out. Does do a nice 65%. Scald's going to come out and do some decent damage to Coco. Mimikyu's going to come in here as the swap to Clefable also happens. Burning Jealousy is, yeah. I'm not exactly sure why I hit Burning Jealousy. It's not even a physical move, it's a special move, and I honestly don't even know what the thing is, frankly. I think it's a fire type special move, and then burns the user if they use a status, they raise their stats that turn. Yeah. Mimikyu is faster than Clefable, so Burning Jealousy wouldn't have even proc to burn, and this Clefable could have potentially been Magic Guard, so there was really no reason to go for that at all, or have it on its moveset. Simple Swords Dance would have been fine, unless you predicted Unaware, in which case you probably should have just... I don't know if Drill takes the Moonblast at 25%, depends on the type of Clefable, I guess, but maybe it could have, and then you could have threatened it with Iron Head or whatever. Good, yeah, that was not what I would have recommended. Anyway, Mimikyu's disguise is broken. We're going to see the Ludicolo swap in here on the Thunder Wave. So this is a switch from Ludicolo. That is not going to help it too much. He looks like he's a defensive one though, and we do see it is Magic Guard, so the Leech Seed is for naught. So it's going to come in on the Moonblast. It does take the Moonblast, and I guess now it's probably going to go for Rocks or Iron Head. He's going to go for the Iron Head. Goes for the third one, tries to go for the Flinch, but no dice. This Moonblast is going to Roost. Iron Head comes out again. You see another Roost, and if this thing doesn't flinch, he's probably just going to die to foul play. And yeah, oh, just for U-turn. That's a smarter play, that's for sure. Yep. Goes to Dynasty here. Ludicolo comes in here. Clef's going to come back in. As you see, an Energy Ball come out. Only does around 31%. Yeah, Clef is going to, looks like it's sitting on the competition. Going for another Moonblast, does 51. Virbank is going to come out here. Deal a good amount of damage, but Coco is going to die to the Moonblast. Probably going to see Raichu come out here. Yep. And either Grass Knot. Yep. So he goes for the Grass Knot. He's a smart play. Looks like it might be Specs, though, as he switches out immediately. Dynasty is going to get up Rocks, and the Venomous is going to come in on the Ludicolo. It's not going to do much damage with Energy Ball at all. We're going to see a Roost here as the Ludicolo goes for an Ice Beam, which we see would have done around half if it didn't Roost, and we'll see it do around half here. Oh, less than half rolls. Raichu's going to come in here on the predicted Roost, most likely, and he does get that. Probably just going to go for a Rising Voltage here. Doesn't quite knock out the Mandibuzz, but the Roost there, yeah. I wouldn't have Roosted there, personally speaking, because if you look at what's left, you know, this is 38% Ludicolo, there's like 2 Fairy types, and there's an Electric type. Basically, Mandibuzz is not very useful for the rest of this game, so I would have just kind of U-turned there at the very least, or like Foul Played, just try to get damage on the Raichu. So yeah, Clef is going to come in here on the Rising Voltage, looks like it's going to get sacked, and it does. Most likely, Diancie comes out here, okay. Ludicolo comes back in here, but Diamond Storm is going to take it out if he goes for it, and he does. And he gets the defense raise, which doesn't really matter in this game too much. Well, it depends on what the Ricky was, but I saw Burning Jealousy, so I'm not sure. Anyway, Energy Ball's going to come out here as the Dance is going to go for another Diamond Storm. There's around 2 a KO. Mandibuzz going to come in here just for the sack, assumedly. Gets Spadef drop, but it doesn't probably matter at all, because Cybervoice would have definitely killed Mandibuzz from that range. Scissor's going to come out here, probably just going to go for the Mega and just go for immediate Bullet Punch, which it does. And yeah, this game is looking pretty over. Bullet Punch will take out the Mimikyu, and then U-Turn or Knockoff will take out the Raichu Alola, and Rising Voltage won't be able to kill the Scizor, even with the crit. So, yeah, that is game. Frankly, not exactly sure what Moody could have done to be a little better. I guess, like, I kept Drill for longer, honestly. Drill looks pretty okay in this game. I don't know if I would have done, like, a lead. I'm assuming that's Focus Sash lead Rocks, but I personally wouldn't have done that. Tapu Koko was also something he should have kept, just for the pressure with Raichu. Especially since, like, you got rid of, like, Gastrodon. Like, it's, yeah, I don't know. The double electric would have done pretty decently here. So, yeah. To be fair, this team is pretty weak to Scizor and Clefable, frankly. So, yeah. I don't know. Overall, I think, like, Mooney probably could have played it a little bit. Probably could have done some, kept the Raichu, kept the Koko. Probably made the Drill a better set. I think, like, a Swords Dance leftover set would have probably been a lot better here. Especially since, like, if you Swords Dance, right? And then, like, you're doing, like, what, upwards of 60% on the, you're, like, close to 60% on the Mandibuzz. Like, if you're gonna flinch there, that's a lot more threatening, right? Yeah, Swords Dance, Rapid Spin, EQ, Iron Head would have done very, very well here, frankly. Because, like, especially against the Scizor, right? Because you have Swords Dance EQ is not going to be shrugged off easily by Scizor. Iron Head would have killed that. Swords Dance EQ probably could have... I probably wouldn't have killed Gastrodon from full, but, like, it would have done it if it was slightly chipped and all that stuff. If you get a Rapid Spin boost, then you can... Yeah, I don't know. I think Drill should have been 100% Swords Dance Rapid Spin. I guess maybe if you really want Rocks, you can just not do that. But I think Drill there would have been... Drill offensively was really good here. And then kept the electric types around, so once you got rid of Gastrodon, which you got rid of it relatively quickly, you would have been able to sweep through with, like, Rose Raichu. And honestly, I think Nassify Raichu would have probably been a little bit better here. So you didn't have to play prediction games with Raichu. To be fair, you played them pretty well, but, like, I think Nasty Plot would have been a lot better here, personally speaking. First off, you get more. You can be stronger than Specs after a boost, and if you have like Electric Trample's Rising Voltage, yeah, I think Nasty Plot Rising Voltage might have been able to like. I don't think it one-shot Scizor, but it definitely two-shots, and then like everything else like dies as well. You knew that Clefable was Magic Guard as well, so like couldn't be unaware. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I think Mooney could have potentially won this game with a little bit of different sets, and as well as recognizing that to keep your win conditions in the game. So like, yeah, Raichu was a big win condition. Well, to be fair, he did keep it to the end, so that's fair. But like, also Coco as well would have made it really threatening. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so now I got Eve Stitch versus Zach. What was their names again? I think Alpine Armaldos and Wuppertal Woopers. I think that's the right. Thing. Okay, so. Got a little Sun team here, I guess, on Eve's end. Although that is Mega Venusaur, so doesn't necessarily take advantage of Chlorophyll the entire time, but it can. And then we also have just like a little balance from Zach. So yeah, let's get into it. So we can see Torkoal lead against the Seismitoad. Probably gonna see what rocks against. Oh, we're gonna see a Rain Dance. Interesting. So Druid's gonna come in here. Zach goes for a very smart prediction, goes for the Ice Punch. Alright, something was bugging me. Yeah, so Ice Punch on the Druid, very smart play. It is a Life Orb as it turns out, and we're going to see the Venusaur come in here, take an Ice Punch again, does around 47. Yeah. And we're going to see swap to Slowking here on the Venusaur going for Giga Drain, which will give it some of its health back. I guess Eve was afraid of a psychic move, so she goes to switch out into Torkoal, reset up the Sun. The Slowking goes for Trick Room and then goes for Future Sight on the Solar Beam. 2 Solar Beams from Torkoal. And then we're going to see a teleport into Lax. Here, probably I would have swapped into Zarude. Yeah, just like strong Darkest Lariat. I'm not exactly sure what set this Zarude is, but you know, Darkest Lariat, close combat, if it had it, both would have done really well against Lax here. To be fair, Trick Room is up, but like, Body Slam's not doing much. I mean, Zarude is kind of chipped as well, right? So it's at 50%. Who knows? Anyway, Solar Beam is going to come out. I guess. Future Sight is going to come. Oh, yeah. Stretching the Zarude for Future Sight would also be a pretty good idea. You're going to see a Curse here. And Torkoal is actually going to reveal Clear Smog, which actually means that Lax can't really do much to this thing. So that's pretty interesting. Venusaur is going to come in here on the Body Slam. Knock the Para. Most likely going to see a Synthesis here, or Leech Seed. Okay. On the Amnesia from Lax. Maybe I would double Leech here, or potentially just go for Giga Drain. Nope. Okay. He's just going to stay and go for Body Slam. Gets the Para, but the Mew seems to have a Lumberry. So, yep. We're going to see Mew go for the Dragon Dance. Interesting. Last is going to get its Poison Heal activated, and Ice Punch is going to come out to 77%. Unfortunately, does not do that much. Enough to kill. Facade's not going to do much to the Mew. And then Mew goes for a Roost. So, the Mew only has 2 coverage moves to win. Yeah. Slowking comes out. Earthquake comes out. Okay, well, yeah, at this point, Mew can't really do much to Pharaoh. I just kind of go to Torkoal here. If you had a fire move, although you might not, Eve might actually not have the fire move on the Torkoal, considering the coverage on it. Maybe the last move is spin. So if it isn't fire move, then frankly, Ferrothorn is kind of hard for your team to deal with. Yeah, you're just gonna go for an EQ here. It's not going to do much. At least she's going to come out, and well, yeah, this matchup is not going to go super well. Mercury's going to come in here on the Protect, and then we're going to see a Taunt as the Treeckos goes for Gyro Ball, almost takes out Murkrow, and then the Murkrow is just going to go for Tailwind and dies to the second Gyro Ball. Nidoking is going to come out here, goes for the Earth Power, Power Whip. So I think Eve was definitely trying to predict the heat round to switch in here, which is why they went for Earth Power. Zach was like, nope, I'm fine. I'm just going to stay in and go for the Power Whip. As it turns out later, we find out Zach does have an Aqua Berry, so that was probably a smart play. I think Eve should have just went for Flamethrower anyways. I think she was Scarf Nidoking, so actually it makes sense that she goes for the prediction here because well, obviously you're Scarf, so you have to predict. If it was Life Orb Nidoking though, 100% different story. You should have just went for Flamethrower because even if Trend comes in, to be fair, I think it was also Scarf Trend too actually. Yeah, it's Scarf Trend, but you didn't know it was Scarf Trend. But to be fair, if you give Scarf Trend a fire boost, pretty bad. Anyway, so Zach, I think Zach staying in was a smart idea because I'm pretty sure you didn't die because you had the Aqua Berry, and then Eve, it's like a toss up on what if she should have went for Flamethrower or Earth Power. So I don't know. I think that play was fine, just didn't work out. Anyway, Power Whip's gonna come out, not gonna kill. Torko's gonna come in here on the Leech Seed. Okay, yes, you can come back on the Protect, and then we're gonna see a Flamethrower from the Nidoking. You do see the Aqua Berry proc, but some boosted Flamethrower, even from Scarf Nidoking, is going to kill. Hero's gonna come in here. Torko's gonna switch in, as we see a double switch into Gliscor. I think I think you could have been able to tell that was Scarf Nidoking at that point, frankly. So I don't understand why Zach swapped here. Here I could have just gone for a fire move and then literally just killed anything on Eve's team, because it's pretty. To me, it's pretty obvious the way she's playing it. It's pretty obvious that the Nidoking is scarfed or choiced of some kind, because you go for the Earth Power on the Ferrothorn, it doesn't kill, whatever. But like, if you're not choiced, if you're Life Orb, like, well, first off, you should have been able to tell from the damage based to your Ferrothorn based on how little Earth Power did. But also, like, if she swapped out, that very much indicates that she couldn't kill you, which means that she probably didn't have Flamethrower. She either didn't have Flamethrower, which, why wouldn't she have a Flamethrower when you have a Ferrothorn, or she's choice locked. So I think staying in there with Heron was a much smarter idea. You would have been able to get a kill, because Sun boosted. You are Scarf. I'm assuming you have Eruption. If Scarf Eruption would have just killed anything. Yeah. So, anyway, we see the Gliscor coming though. Goes for the Roost on the Solar Beam. Gonna do some super effective damage. Gliscor is gonna probably Roost again on the Nidoking swap. Yep, and so Gliscor is back up to full. And then we see the Scarf Ice Beam come out and kill the Gliscor. Very nice. Saboteur is going to come in here. Frankly, I think Rain Dance was a pretty obvious setup from Saboteur here, so I would have stayed in an Ice Beam just to get chip on the Saboteur. Remember, it is Life Orb, so it's going to eventually kill itself. So yeah, and then you could have brought in Torkoal on this turn right here, but it doesn't work out that way. Liquidation is going to come out here, get the defense drop. Yeah. So Eve actually, well, you see next turn she actually swaps here, but Ice Punch wasn't gonna kill. Just as saying, because like, even a -1, like Ice Punch wouldn't have killed. Also, but Life Orb EQ should have killed. However, Zach turns out he doesn't. I don't think he realizes that, and he just goes for the Ice Punch again, which yeah, it doesn't make sense because Life Orb EQ would have killed. Anyway. Mew's gonna come in here on the Rain Dance. Liquidation is gonna come out, deal a lot of damage on the Dragon Dance. So, Dragon Dance was kind of not the best idea. Just because basically the Saboteur is probably gonna be faster than you. Yeah, you're just gonna get 2-shot. So I would have gone for Earthquake just to get some damage. Maybe Ice Punch if you wanted to try and go for a Freeze. Yeah, I don't know. That's basically it. So, Liquidation comes out. Kills Mew. Mew doesn't do anything there. Torko's going to come back in. We're probably going to see a swap to Mega Venu on the Rain Dance again. As we do. Kieran is going to come out of here on the Leech. Nope. She's just going to go swap into Torkoal and give it Sun again. So, that's not very good. Huron does go for the Age Power. Doesn't kill the Torkoal. But Solar Beam is just going to come out and not do anything. So, yeah, Torkoal does not have any moves to hit this Huron. Huron just goes Age Power. Gets a lucky boost, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Oh, so Age Power comes out. Kills that. And then Nidoking comes in here. The Huron switches, which means it is definitely choice locked, so most likely Scarf, as I said before. Snorlax is going to come in, go for the Earth Power. Nidoking is going to go for the Earth Power. Personally, I would have swapped as a Zarude there. In fact, no, forget about it. Wait, okay, hold on. Let me go. On this turn, if you were betting that it was Choice Scarf, which makes sense, Zarude should have come out here 100%. The Zarude wasn't going to die to... I really doubted it was going to die to +1 Agent Power. And first off, you kill it with... I'm pretty sure Eve has close combat, so you should have gone for close combat, would have killed that. And I think actually at that point the game was over. As long as you live the +1 Agent Power, because Lax would have died to close combat. Size was going to die to close combat. Like everything, the game was over actually at this point if you went to this route here. So going to Nidoking here was not the smartest idea. Just because you still have that Lax that's still alive and can definitely take Earth Powers from Rectress. Venusaur is going to come in here on the Amnesia. Again, hard swap to Zarude here would have been my choice of words. Like, I don't think I would have gone to Venusaur. I would have gone to Zarude, right? Just to threaten it. So yeah. Anyway, see some Leech Seeding, some Giga Drain, some Synthesizing. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to see the swap of Zarude here, though, on the Para. It's really good. You get a free close combat here. Oh, she goes for Sunny Day instead. It goes for... I would really caution using Sunny Day on that turn. Because, like, yeah, that frankly, that made no sense to me. Because you're just giving... At this point, Sun doesn't do much for you at all. All you're doing is giving Huron a Fire Boost, which is less, like... That's the last thing you want to do. So, yeah, Toad, it dies, sure. Okay, to be fair, she had Solar Blade, but like, I mean, if she had close combat, which I'm pretty sure she did, like, close combat would have just killed. Kill Toad. It's clearly like a max attack, max speed variant, so like, you're gonna light breeze would have knocked it over. Okay, that's not true. Senzo is still pretty bulky, but like, still, that's my point. And see now, well, I mean, obviously, Zoro's gonna die to Scarf Stone regardless. But that turn should have been the Venusaur stack. Yeah, because you need Snorlax at the end of this game, because, well, now you lost Zarude, and now you have two special attackers against Snorlax, and it has Amnesia, and it has Rest. Yeah, then the game is pretty much over at this point. Basically, the most Eve can do here is hope for a crit. Spoiler alert, she never gets one, and then the Lax just sets up a bunch. I'm just going to skip through it because there's no point in looking at it, and then she eventually loses. So, yeah. I think Eve 100% could have won that game. Just losing the Zarude there at the end was the main... was just the end, beginning of the end, I guess. Yeah. If Zarude was kept, Lax couldn't have been super threatening there. I don't know if that Zarude had Darkest Lariat too, but if it had Darkest Lariat, then Lax can barely even set up. Because, you know, Darkest Lariat ignores stat changes. So, I think Eve definitely could have won this game. But, you know, just some small mistakes just led to her loss. So, very unfortunate. Moving on. Okay, so, next up, the second to last match of this video. So, we're going to see the Pops Popula versus Sage. So, the Narukami Ninetales versus the Melting Mudkips. And, you're welcome for me putting the image of Melting Mudkips into your brain, because that's the name they chose for themselves for some reason. Anyways, we're gonna see some sort of like sticky web hyper offense on Pops Popula's part versus, I'm not sure what this is. Some sort of like balance, maybe bulky offense type thing. Anyway, probably gonna see Galvantula lead webs versus something. Maybe Torn, maybe Swampert. We'll see. Chestnut actually leads out versus the Swampert, very interesting. Alicia's going to come out here as the Swampert's going to not care about a grass type and go for rocks. And then we're going to see a Drain Punch, and the Swampert still doesn't care, goes for Flip Turn. That's very interesting. Very interested as to why Swampert decided to stay in there the entire game. Maybe it had Rindoberry, who knows? But Rindoberry still would have done a lot of damage. Anyway, we see another case of someone not Mega Evolving. This time I'm pretty sure it's because they forgot how to Mega Evolve. Yeah, so it's supposed to be Mega Charizard X, which is why it's going for Flare Blitz, by the way. So yeah, I'm very intrigued as to why this sequence of plays happened. Now, if Flare Blitz comes out, should have Mega Evolved. I think they finally Mega Evolved this turn to go for the Roost, so they're back to a respectable amount of health. But they could have probably killed the Chestnut. Swampert's gonna come back in on the Stealth Rock here. Then we're gonna see a flip turn. Doesn't do much on the Victory Bow switch in. Toxic comes out. Very smart switch, I guess. Flygon's gonna come in here on the Leech Life. Very interesting. Not really sure why this person brought Leech Life, but you know what? Each their own. Leech Life's gonna come out again on the first Dragon Dance, and on the second Dragon Dance, we're gonna see a Sleep Powder, which probably should have came out immediately. Sleep Powder is gonna go for another Sleep Powder, and it's gonna miss for some reason. Leech Life comes out again, and then we're gonna see a Wake Up, go for the Earthquake, does 80%. Leech Life's gonna come out yet again. Executor Lola comes out here on the follow-up EQ. We're gonna see a Citrus Berry proc and the Harvest proc as well. Stone Edge is gonna come out here, but it's not going to take out Bulky Executor, and the Executor is gonna finish the job with a Flamethrower. So yeah, and he just keeps getting all the Harvest lucked, and he's getting all the Citrus Berry activations. Executor is gonna come out here from the Galvantula, and the Executor is just gonna take it out with Flamethrower. Sharpedo is going to come in here and go for a Protect and the Speed Boost. Storm is going to come out, not do much or anything because Protect. Crunch is going to come out again. Executor lives, gets a Citrus Berry, kills it with Leaf Storm. Yeah, Executor, I'm putting in bad work right now. Got 3 kills. Chestnut's going to come back in here. We're going to see another Flamethrower come out, do 30%. Leaf Seed not going to do anything. Popular probably expected a switch there. Like Shield's gonna come out, and it's just yeah. I don't know. We're just watching. I frankly would have gone to Victini on the last turn just because if you had V-Create, that was gonna kill for sure. But anyway, we're gonna see a lot of Treeckos, see a lot of Flamethrowers and Drain Punches. I don't know. I think the Executor should have switched that a while ago. I mean, I guess it doesn't really. It could just go and keep going for a crit, I guess, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. But he's getting a lot of harvests, so yeah. Personally speaking, whenever I use the harvest mod, I never get my barrier back ever again. So, okay, I'm gonna skip through this. Okay, finally we see a swap. Victini comes in on a Draco Meteor. It's not gonna do much, and it turns out this Victini is a Searing Shot Life Orb variant. Oh, it's not Life Orb. Never mind. I thought it was a Life Orb. Anyway, Chestnut's gonna come back in on the Swampert flip turn. Probably see Tornadoes come in, and that's accurate. We see his Heavy Duty Boots gonna go for a 0-1 Hurricane, which doesn't land because of Protect. Probably another Hurricane. Oh, we do see another Hurricane. Goes for just 10%. Does get the confusion though, but it doesn't matter because he's gonna land a Focus Blast. It's 2 70% accurate moves. Tina's gonna come in here. Goes for Focus Blast again for some reason. Makes no sense there, frankly. 2 shots can come out, and then Hurricane again, so that's 4 70% accurate moves, landing all in a row. And then we're going to see a swap. Definitely should have just Hurricane there, personally. You land all 4, you might as well get the last one. Although it makes okay. It does make sense in the context that the point is at like 24%. If you lose it, maybe you could potentially lose. So, yeah. But Venomous doing quite a bit to Charizard, it is doing a bit to Charizard in terms of recoil, but also to the Chestnut, and then the Leech Seed plus Synthesis will take out the Charizard. Aegislef's gonna come in here, Leech is gonna come out, Oxy's gonna come out, and now the game is essentially pretty over. Probably cannot stall out with the Toxic condition, so they can't even touch this Aegislash. Oh yeah, Venomous gonna come out here. Which doesn't touch Chestnut due to to do the bulletproof, so I'm not sure exactly why he was going for that. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we're probably gonna see what Torn swap in here. Yep. On the leech seed, smart play. See a spiky shield on the heat wave. Heat wave probably will take out the chestnut, especially after the toxic damage. And yeah, that is game. So what have we learned? Executor is annoying as heck, I guess. Yeah. I think... Well, first off, I think the Sharpedo should have Ice Fang. Because, like, Sage has a couple of has a couple of grass types and a flying type. Ice Fang should have probably been brought, especially with, because it's Mega Sharpedo, so Strong Jaw boosted Ice Fang still does a lot of damage. So yeah. I also think he should have Mega Evolved too. I'm kind of surprised. I think if he Mega Evolved, he would have been able to kill the Executor. And plus, at that point in the game, I think our Mega Sharp had a very good chance of just winning the game outright. It was like everything was chipped, and like, oh, let's go back. Hold up, going back. Okay, so this one of the maybe Mega Sharp wouldn't have won, but would have been able to like do a lot of damage here. Because I mean, if Popular had Ice Fang, just Ice Fang would have just killed, right? If Ice Fang would have killed Executor, and then you don't have the Mega Evolve this turn because obviously Torn is not going to be able to be killed in one turn. If they do go to anything besides Torn, though, I think you just Mega Evolve immediately and just go for Crunch. Like, I think it would have killed pretty much everything at this point, especially with rocks. Like, yeah, I think, I don't know, Sharpedo should have been used a lot better in this match. What else? Vic. I'm not sure exactly why Victini was special this game. I think just physical V-Create would have done a heck of a lot of damage to everything. Maybe Victini was special just because of Grass Knot, or just so it got energy balls to kill Swampert. Actually, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, fine. Whatever. And maybe it's just false special because it does get a good amount of special moves that will basically beat everything here. Like, I don't know. Did you not have Glaciate so that you could have okay? Well, first off, okay. Let's. This turn, after this thing died, why didn't a Victini come out? No. Because, like, Victini, we know Victini Shearing Shot would have definitely killed. We would have seen if Charizard came in, sure, 400 resist, but now it takes rocks. It's slowed down by Sticky Web. I mean, I feel like that would have been a smart idea to just go to Victini here. Or if you had like U-turn, maybe like that would have done a lot of damage as well. Like, I don't know. I think Victini there was a better idea. Or if you did go to Sharpedo, you should have gone for Ice Fang. If you had it, I guess if you didn't have it, whatever. But I feel like, okay, if you didn't have Ice Fang, then you should have Mega Evolved and gone for Crunch. So yeah, there's a lot of things here. I think could have gone a little bit better. But anyway, last game. Alright, so we got a Terra with the Texas Turtwigs versus the Zigzag and Goons with Ampharos. And yeah, we're gonna watch the game, I guess. So we got a nice little like I guess offensive team from Terra. Well, both of them have pretty offensive teams, so we're gonna kind of see what happens here. Yeah. So turn one, you see the Cloyster, shiny Cloyster against the shiny Kartana. We're gonna see a Smart Strike come out here. Pretty interesting why it was Smart Strike and not something like Leaf Blade. I guess kind of worried about like a Togekiss potentially switching in or maybe something like that. But Smart Strike turns out not to be the play because we see a Shell Smash from the Cloyster. Yep, and then Icicle Spear is going to take out the Kartana. And then we're gonna see the Dusclops come in. Icicle Spear will take out the Dusclops as well. Yep, we're gonna see Darmanitan come in. Rock Blast gonna take out the Darmanitan. Yep. I don't know why this man hasn't got Rotom. Goes for the Protect. For some reason, it does nothing for him. And it turns out this is why he doesn't go for like, apparently Rotom was not bulky enough to take +2 Rock Blast from Cloyster. Shroom is going to come out from Lanoon, not going to take it out. And Icicle Spear going to take that out. And then we're going to see the Zygarde come in. 4 times weak to Ice, by the way. And it's going to just die. Yeah, so someone a lot of things could have happened here. I'm not exactly sure why any of this happened. Okay, first off, just congratulations on 6-0 sweep, right? I don't know, sounds much closer. So a couple things happened. If the Kartana just Leaf Bladed, basically this Cloyster would have only been able to get 1 kill, because follow-up Extreme Speed from Lanoon would have killed it after the Leaf Blade damage for sure. This Cloyster was probably a Sash, which is why they very comfortably went for the Shadow Smash in front of the Cloyster. In front of the Kartana, sorry. But yeah, I think not going for Leaf Blade there was a little bit of a choke. To be fair, yes, there's a Togekiss, but like you have switch-ins to Togekiss, not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Like you have a whole Rotom. To be fair, Rotom also should have been able to beat this. Not sure what that Rotom was. Probably like max speed, max special attack, which is not a Rotom that I personally would use. My Rotoms are always max HP and then max like run defensive. Like Rotom works best as a pivot. So like I would have just run like max HP, max either defense. Frankly, would have been able to probably take this Cloyster, probably take the Rock Blast stuff and max HP. So yeah, there's really not much to commentate about. Interestingly enough, actually, if Ampharos actually led Lanoon and went for Belly Drum against the Cloyster, well, actually, no. I think the Cloyster was actually a Sash. So actually, never mind. I take that back. But yeah, this is what happens when you don't properly prep for Cloyster or anything that can just Shadow Smash and sweep like that. So yeah, not much to commentate about. Cloyster the GOAT. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in next week, or probably, well, yeah, next week for week 2's battles, and then yeah. See you guys later.